Hello, good evening, morning. Well, no, good morning, good morning,
Morning.
afternoon, evening. And I hear the bell ringing, but that's okay. Um, Two lights in the darkness. We're
Yes.
back again.
Hey, here we are. We have a special guest with us today too. Who is it?
Hello.
Yes,
Mhm. Oh, there she is.
Lidia Molina. Oh, I can't read the last part.
He says Parenteen.
Okay. Oh yeah, Parenteen. Yeah. But yes, our special guest tonight, today. Oh,
Tonight for
I'm
me, tonight for me, because I'm in
yeah,
UK, and
tonight for
today for
me
you.
too. I'm still a bit shook about the whole YouTube live thing, but that's okay. Lydia, welcome. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Um, Tell us who you are.
Right. So, my name is Lidia, and I'm Spanish, but I've been living in UK for about 25 years. I'm a parent coach, and I run a business called Parenteen, as you can see in the screen. And what I do is I help parents that have challenging teenagers and teenagers that have that suffering from self-harm and suicide. What I do is I help them reconnect and help them to strengthen the relationships, because that is very, very important, that having a good relationship and a healthy relationship, parent and teenager, is crucial to
Yeah,
be able to help the teenagers through the darker places and the darker periods that they're going through.
yeah, yeah. So how did you get to that point that you
Well,
thought or that you wanted to help parents and teenagers alike?
um, because two reasons. I was one of those teens. So from the ages between 16 and 19, I was suicidal. I overdosed 5 times. Um,
Oh,
my parents pretty much didn't know what happened. For them, I just was depressed. But in the old times, they just like brush it under the carpet and that's it. Carry on with your life.
yeah.
Um, and then the story repeated with my son. So the first time that my son tried or attempt suicide, he was 11, just a couple of weeks before his 12th birthday.
That
Uh,
is young.
yeah, he's very young, but it's not unusual. So
No, no,
mm,
true.
by the research that I've been doing through all of these years on how to help my child, because it's been 6 years of fighting with him, trying to keep him alive. So he had about 9 attempts of suicide, either going to the train station, either trying to hang himself, either doing overdose. So yeah,
Oh,
so that is why I became a parent coach, because I have to learn the strategies to keep him alive,
yeah,
have the connections and the communication with him, because he was broken. We didn't
yeah,
have a relationship. Um, and I didn't want any parents to go through the same pain and feeling so lonely, feeling so hopeless like I did.
yeah,
So I decided, okay, I have to help parents to go through this too.
yeah.
And that's how I became a parent coach.
Wow, that's quite a story, eh?
Mhm.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, yes, but still, it's heartbreaking to hear
Mhm.
that.
Um, it is, but a mother do anything for the children,
You keep going, huh?
You have to keep going, even when you don't want to get up from the bed, even when you think that you have tried everything, even when you don't have any more support or no support from anybody anymore.
Yeah,
You still fighting. because your kids are the most important thing in the world, and you just have to keep going.
Yeah.
There was a lot of mornings when I woke up and I was scared of, should I open the door of his room?
Yeah. Is he
But
still there
he's
or
still there, or he's taking too long coming home from school. Where is he? Is he gonna
yeah.
be at the train station? Am I gonna get a phone call? I have to quit my job because I was getting phone calls from school
Yeah.
saying that
Did you feel like you had to um sort of control everything that he was doing just to
yeah,
keep him
yeah,
alive?
yeah. So in the process of trying to help him, I was losing myself too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because I was giving him so much just to try to keep him alive that I was forgetting about me.
So how did you turn that around for yourself as well?
So you get to this moment. I don't know if you guys have ever read The Power of Now
I
by
haven't read
Eckhart
it, but I
Tolle.
heard of it.
Yeah, so Eckhart Tolle talks about the moment of surrender in there. And later on, when my son has been doing DBT therapy, I learned that the moment of surrender is also called radical acceptance. There was a moment before I learned that it was called like that, where I was thinking, right, it is what it is. I had not changed the situation. One morning I'm gonna find him dead. Or one day I'm gonna get a phone call. So it was the moment for me of making peace with what could happen. But I wasn't giving up on him. I was
Yeah.
still trying to find ways to help him.
That's a different thing, eh?
Yeah, because when you make peace with that moment, it doesn't mean that you're giving up on your child. It means that you are preparing yourself mentally for what can happen, but you
Yeah.
still have hopes and you still fight and you still try to find it's like a moment of clarity.
Yeah.
This could happen, but I'm not giving up on my kid.
Yeah.
I'm preparing myself for what maybe can happen.
Yeah.
It's like kind of detaching yourself from being so immersed in the problem, because when you are inside the problem, you don't see the solutions really.
No, true. That is true.
And I think that helped me massively to go through all of these years trying to help him, because otherwise I would be insane. Otherwise I
Yeah.
would be like, I don't know who will go first, me or him. And me being in the situation too, because once you have thoughts about suicide, those thoughts never let you. You know that those thoughts are always there. They're
Yeah.
all floating in your head. You just don't act on them.
Yeah, exactly. So you
But
could actually relate to what he was thinking
yeah,
or feeling maybe.
yeah. But there was a difference because my dark place when I was younger was a bit different
Hmm.
than his dark place. Sorry, I'm just gonna open the door for the dog.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So for me was like being in a dark room where I couldn't find the door handle to open the door, or I couldn't find the switch to switch on the light. There was an element of hope in there because I knew there was a door and I knew there was a window and a light, you know.
Yeah.
But for him was different. He was floating in a space.
Yeah,
Nothing to,
space is big, nothing. Yeah.
yeah, nothing to grab, no one to help you, no one to talk, darkness. So for him, it's like he made peace with, I have to just let go. So when you are in that moment of just making peace with your life and just like accepting that you just want to go, that is a very dangerous place.
Yeah.
This is very difficult to go from that place to light again.
Yeah.
So yes, I could relate to him. We sort of have the same feelings, but I still needed to connect with him and find where he was so I could take him out of there.
Yeah. So how old is your son now, if I may ask?
Next week, next Friday, he will be 18.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
Yes.
every year that he blows the candle on his birthday cake, I can breathe and said, we have done this one more year.
Yeah.
Bless your heart.
So it's like a big celebration.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Life is to be celebrated, and and that's the thing, is that everyone needs support, and when you think you don't have it, or you convince yourself you don't have it, that's when things start to like decline, and then you start thinking that nobody
Yeah.
understands, and that you're all alone. These are all lies. I've had that same experience a couple of years ago, and and I just thought, oh my God, I, I'm alone, and like nobody's gonna understand, and I'm supposed to be the cheerleader for everybody else, and here I am like this, and like you know, and it's hard when you're an encourager of somebody else to encourage yourself. And I found that I have to also feed myself, and also be there for myself, be my own cheerleader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The thing
Yeah,
is,
true.
because there's so much stigma and taboo around suicide, people don't really want to
Right.
talk about it.
Yeah.
They think that by you talking about suicide, you putting ideas into the person who is already depressed or thinking about suicide,
But
which
they
is,
already have the thoughts.
yeah,
So
they had those thoughts for a long time.
yeah.
It's like a baby. When you have you might start with a little sadness, and then it grows into depression, and then you start having thoughts about suicide, and then you start acting on them. So it's like, so those thoughts have been there maybe for years.
Yeah. Do
Not
you see this in most of the teens and parents that you help?
so
That same process of sort of nurturing that sadness that is growing, and then that evolves into suicidal thoughts.
the problem with the teenagers is because they don't understand their emotions, because the way that the brain is growing, there is an imbalance there on the logical part of the brain with the emotional part of the brain. So the logical part of the brain is not developed yet.
Yeah.
They feel a lot because that's the part of the brain that is working constantly. Yeah. So they just feel, they have all of these feelings where they can go like from extremely sad to super happy, and then very angry, and then again motivated and all that stuff. So that's why teenagers change mood so quickly, but they can't explain why, because that part of the brain is not there yet.
Yeah.
And so when they have thoughts of sadness, it's because they don't understand what's going on. And they go into those thoughts so much that they get lost into those thoughts.
Yeah.
They are so deep into those thoughts that they don't know how to get out of there. They can't explain it. They don't know why.
Yeah. And what about the parents? Would you say that as a parent, the feeling of guilt and shame is so big, that they are afraid to ask for help?
Yeah, big time, big time. We have the idea of being always the perfect parents. Show
Yeah.
that we have the perfect children, they behave. Nobody wants to have kids that have problems.
Right.
Nobody. Everybody wants to show that happy face, happy life to everybody. Yeah, nobody. And I have a lot of parents in my group that they are anonymous because they don't want anybody to know that they have problems. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
if you are in my Facebook group, because I share my problems, and because of my story, you can get help.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If you don't share your story and your problems, how can you get help?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not that you keep on going in that
Yeah.
same circle and going and going and going.
Because there is a misunderstanding, and parents have the guilt of, I should know better. It's
Yeah.
my kid, it's my responsibility. I don't know how to handle the situation. So there is a lot of guilt in there.
Yeah.
A lot of guilt. But that's the thing. If you don't speak about it, you can never get the help.
Mm.
No, exactly.
Right.
And also, if you don't speak about it, you show your kid that you shouldn't speak about it
Exactly.
because
Yeah, exactly. And there is also the mistake that a lot of parents make, thinking my kid don't show any sign of suicide. They are
Yeah.
doing great in school. They got lots of friends. They doing music or sports or blah blah blah. They have good grades. Yeah, my son was that too.
Mm.
I didn't know until I opened the door of the room and I saw him about to start on the chair to hang himself.
Mm.
I didn't see any signs at all. No depression, nothing. He was very popular in school, very happy kid. Nothing.
Wow. So kids are really, really good at hiding
They are.
their true feelings, huh?
They are. They show one face in the house. They're different in school or with their peers. They have different lives because they don't know how to fit in.
Yeah.
So they have to live different lives to fit in different places. It's very confusing and exhausting for a teenager to find their own identity.
Yeah.
And because they just feel a lot, they don't know how to communicate those emotions. That's where the depression comes, and that's where self-harming and suicidal behavior comes. So yeah, a big mistake that a parent can make is thinking that my kid will never do that.
No, it's always the neighbor's kid or my friend's kid or
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, right now I am reading Matthew Perry's book, Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Lie, which is basically based on he had like social anxiety
Mm.
and fear, like abandonment issues at a young age. So he went to alcohol and drugs, and and he just talked about. I mean, it was like he could put on a persona, and that everybody saw, but that was not the real him, like you're saying, and everybody was like, wow, this he's outgoing, and but it was inside it was like he was hurting, and then he'd go and he'd pound like you
Mm-hmm.
know, a fifth of gin or whatever, um, to numb the feelings because he said he didn't want to feel.
Yeah.
He was tired of feeling, and and like when you had said too that you come to a place where you're just like at peace and just peace with it and say, I'm letting go. I think that might have happened to him,
Mm-hmm.
just like I'm ready. There's nothing left in this life, and um, I've done everything that I can to abstain, and and that's not a happy existence. It's like you wanna be able to live and enjoy and and have peace, and when you don't have that, it's just like a whole different world. world is just very, like you said, very dark, and you're just waiting for someone to pull you out of that, and it's hard to pull somebody out of that when they're stuck. They're stuck right there, and they're not, they're just like, they don't know what to do. So very, very sad situation to be in, and I'm just glad that you were there and being a role model. Even though it's like, oh my God, some days you're probably pulling your hair out, like, oh my gosh, am I making a difference? But yes, from everything that I see in your page and everything that you're telling us, I mean, just standing by and supporting, and however you can support that child or that person. Sometimes, like you said, sometimes it has to be put your foot down support,
Yeah.
Sometimes it has to be that I just need a hug support,
It's a lonely, very lonely place to be. And for example, what I learned with my son is he didn't want me to solve his problems. He just wanted to be listened to.
Yeah, it's hard.
I have this bunch of feelings that I don't understand. I don't know how to explain them. And because I don't know how to explain them and I don't understand them, I don't want you to fix them. I just want to get them out. This is another mistake that we parents make. We don't validate our children's emotions and feelings. We go straight away to solve the problems. So it's like trying to cross how do you call it, to cross the bridge, and instead of building to cross the river, and instead of building a bridge, you want to just jump straight away to the other side. You're missing a lot of things in between.
Yeah.
Our kids want validation. We might not agree with their behavior, but they want us to know that what they're feeling is real for them. And once we start validating them, they start to open up, because they think, I can talk to my parents without being judged and without them trying to cut me off to give me solutions or lecture me. I can talk. And that's what most of the kids want. Now, when we try to fix everything for them, that's when they close. Why would I go to talk to my parents if they just don't want to speak to me?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a common mistake, I think. Well, I know I made, just wanting to fix things for your kids to make it better.
We think that we're gonna make them better because in our
Yeah, but also the circumstances, to make the
Yeah.
circumstances better, to make sure that they are okay, and that's basically not what they want.
No. I always, when I teach about this in my workshops, and my courses, I always try to make the parents feel what it is like to feel suicidal. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I always put them, I give them this analogy of being in a cave. Yeah. So I told them, imagine that you are in a cave, or that your child is in a cave. He's been there for days in the darkness, lonely, afraid, desperate, not knowing what to do, with his own thoughts 24/7. The only thing that he can do to alleviate that fear and that pain is to die. And there you want to come with a powerful torch when they've been there in the darkness. You want to come there with a powerful torch, and you're gonna how do you say when you are in the dark and then you just see the light?
Oh yeah, you're going to blind them.
Blind them, yeah, you're going to blind them. So what you have to do is you don't know where your child is inside that cave. Yeah, all you have is their voice to guide you. So you have to ask them questions. So is the voice coming from here? No, it's the voice coming from there until you find them. And when you find them, you don't grab them and take them out. You want to make sure that they feel safe. They've been there for a long time. They are scared, you know, and you might want to just light up a match so they get used to a little light. And gradually you can maybe make the light a bit bigger and take them out, work them out of the cave. But this is a mistake. Again, we want to go where they are and grab them out when they're
Yeah.
not ready.
Right. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's a big problem. Like the fix-it syndrome. I just want to fix it, make it better. And like you're saying, it's like sometimes it's like peeling off a Band-Aid. You gotta like do it one layer, a little bit at a time. You can't just rip it off. And
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, for my son, it's been taking 6 years. It's a long process. And it's now that he is getting better, he's going back to school again. He's been 2 years without not going to school, being pretty much a vegetable in his room, sleeping most of the day because he didn't want to leave. The only thing that was keeping him alive was not having any medication, any sharp things, me being there 24/7 for him, which was very exhausting.
Yeah.
I have to find him where he was so I could take him out of that place. And it's been taking 6 years.
That's a long time, eh?
Yeah, but he's getting there now. He's going to school. He's finding something that he really loves. He goes out with his friend. He's really looking forward life now.
awesome.
And his
Right.
18th birthday.
That is so cool.
Love inspiring stories. Yes. So now, when you talk to your clients, I bet it feels good to them that you can relate to their issues, right? Because a lot of coaches, they don't have that experience, so they're just coming out and just like using like what they know for knowledge, and their clients are like you said, you have to have a story. It helps to have a story because how else are you going to be able to relate to them? You can't really do it in text. I know a lot of coaches do that, but I think it's cold because you have to have, the same passion for it and the same like sympathy for it and all of that. So I'm glad that you have that. And I'm not saying I'm glad you have all these problems, but I'm saying I'm glad that you know how to reach to that parent and say, hey, I've been there. You take their hand, if not physically, they can feel it, like, oh, she's got me. She knows what I'm going through.
That's where a lot of how can I say, therapy sometimes doesn't work because you go to university, you study whatever you study, psychology, medicine, I don't know, whatever you study, and then you get a patient, but you have no clue really of what it is like to feel like your patient is feeling at this moment, and you want to apply all these techniques and things on them, and maybe what they want is just talk. Just listen to me. I'm feeling this way. I'm not asking you to solve my problems. Maybe I like to be where I am. Because
We don't think about that, huh?
maybe they like to be where they are because they've been in there so long that
it's their safe place.
It's their safe place.
Yeah.
They might be scared of feeling happy again, of going out there and live life because it might be too overwhelming. They might feel scared of just leaving their rooms and go for a walk. It might feel too overwhelming for them.
Well, that's one of the things that our mind is set on. Just stay in that familiar thing, because the unfamiliar can cause maybe pain, and we don't want pain.
Yeah.
We want to be safe.
And that pain is giving you something. Every negative emotion is giving you something. You're taking something out of that.
Yeah.
No?
Right.
So where that might be the attention that you've been seeking or the validation that you've been seeking, you want that, so you stay there.
Yeah.
There are also kids that feel worthless, and they don't want to make their parents suffer, and they decided I love my parents too much to make them suffer because of the way that I feel, and they take their lives
Yeah.
out of love because they don't want the parents to suffer. There are teenagers where they attempt to suicide because they want revenge on their parents. You're not listening to me. You are ignoring me. So I'm gonna show you how it is life without me. There is many different reasons why a teen can attempt suicide,
Yeah.
and we don't stop and think about those.
No, this is this is really sort of scary, actually.
Yeah, and it's like, so just to like make a statement, like, so it's, people think like, oh, this will fix everything, and they think like it's a temporary solution, but it's a permanent solution. There's no going back from this decision.
No, no, it's not. And once you make peace with death, it's very difficult to go back to life.
Yeah.
It's very difficult because you just don't care. I'm just gonna go. There is something beautiful about death when you are in that moment. You just, I'm not gonna say you know what's after death, but when someone seeks death, it's because death is gonna give them something back. Whether it's the peace that they want, you want to die, you know. Once you think just gonna let go, I'm gonna be better off, it's very difficult to go back.
Yeah. I can imagine.
Closure too, right? Yeah.
But we can't. I'm here, and my son is here too. So yes, we can't. We're going too serious and too deep on this.
Okay, so let's celebrate. First
Yeah,
your
let's
son.
celebrate. Yeah. I was talking to a mom the other day. I was interviewing her in my Facebook group because she has a very similar story as me, and she's now coaching teenagers. Yeah. So she says, now we can joke about it, because sometimes we we can joke about it now, but when you are in that situation, your kid is trying to attempt suicide and all that stuff, and then you come out of that, you make jokes about it. You go like, oh, you were so rubbish, you attempted so many times, like you were bad at to do that, and everything, like it's like inside jokes. You cannot make these jokes with someone who hasn't been through that.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, from those moments where you are at the edge of dying in that darkness to the moment where you can joke about you trying to kill yourself, it's a big gap and a lot of growing and learning in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is actually so cool.
Yes, it is.
To learn this, yeah.
Yes. Before we close out, Erna, can we just pray for the ones that are hurting today?
Yes, of course.
Wonderful. All right. Do you want me to lead it?
Go ahead. Take the lead.
All right. Dearly Father, I thank you, Lord, for just these youngsters that have been brought up to us, the ones that we don't even know about that are out there that are feeling lost, feeling like no one cares. Well, we just want to say that we do care. There is someone here. I hope they can reach out to Lydia and other role models like her that are ready to take on whatever they have to dish out. And Lord, help them to get to that point where, like, they're saying, okay, one day is not so bad, and then the next day is better. And I just pray this for everyone that is hurting. In your precious name, amen.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Thank you very much.
Yes.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
Yes.
That's something that a lot of people should hold on to, whatever they believe to. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because being human is precious, and living this, having this human experience is precious.
Mhm.
And sometimes you can't do it alone. You have to do it with the support of others.
Yeah.
Yep.
Always you
Yeah.
can do it alone. Yeah, we are all connected.
We
Yeah,
are.
we are.
We need that support. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, Lydia, where can people find you?
Oof. Basically, I live in Facebook. So you can Google me, you will find me, but I live in Facebook very much. I my webpage is www.parenteen.co.uk, so you can find me there. I got a Facebook group called Support for Parents with teenagers suffering from self-harm and suicide. You can find me there. I do a lot of training there for parents, free training. I interview professionals that can help them with their mental health, the kids and the parents, anything related to teenagers problems and how to support parents. I bring people to help them. Actually, on the 8th of December, which is my son's birthday, I'm gonna run a free workshop, 3 hours workshop, where we're gonna learn how to connect with our teenagers and how to spot the signs of suicide and how to talk to our children so we can feel empowered with the skills that can save our kids' life. So the workshop is free.
Cool. You know, I will also put all of this in the descriptions down below so that people can read it as well.
Amazing. But pretty much, yeah, you can find me on Facebook, you can find me on TikTok, you can find me in LinkedIn, everywhere. I'm everywhere. I'm like, God, yeah. Just Google me and you find me.
That's awesome.
What are you doing special for your son's birthday?
So we're gonna go to a Korean barbecue.
Oh,
nice.
He loves food and he wanted to go to a Korean barbecue because he's like, we love Asian food. We're trying to learn how to cook and all that stuff, and just love Asian.
Korean barbecue is really nice. I can tell you from experience.
Yeah, I think I was in a Korean restaurant once, but long time ago. Yeah.
Wow. Awesome.
Cool.
I'm gonna enjoy it too.
Yeah. Yes, I hope you do. And take a good credit and pat yourself on the back for all the good work you're doing, and just just keep moving. Just keep moving.
Yeah, never stopping.
Good.
So glad
so,
to
have you. Thank you, Lydia, for being our guest today.
Today for you,
to everybody, thank you very much for being here.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And as it happens, we have another interview tomorrow with Borja Fernandez. Exactly. It was on the tip of my tongue. Yeah, Borja. Also Spanish.
Yeah.
But living in France, so we accumulate
everywhere.
Spanish. Yeah. Yes. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And well, have a great day.
Yes, everyone. And see you back on the fast track.
See you back on the fast track.
Bye bye.
Bye.